of NERDiT Now. Markevis. And I say that with great passion because Markevis is not just a guest, he's my brother from another mother. We come from the grit, we come from the mud, and we just motivate each other. We've been motivating each other before all the fame, right? So now he's a local tech company. He is the owner and the founder of a local tech company here in Wilmington that fixes computers, from computers to everything.
Right.
Mr.
Cell phones and
Cell
everything.
phones and all that. And the great part about it, he gives back to the community. That's what his company's is based on. So please welcome the owner, the founder, Mr. Markevis of NERDiT Now.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Ivan. It's been such a pleasure to watch how DETV has grown from where it's been to where it's at today, and just giving back to the community. So again, it's a blessing to be
I already need that. I already need that. Brother, thank you. Again, what is NERDiT Now? They heard it from me, but what is NERDiT Now?
So when people see NERDiT Now, they see Shark Tank. And I like to remind the people of the kid that grew up in the Riverside area. The kid that was donated a laptop at 12 years old and whose whole life's trajectory was changed. I went to Howard High School where I became a Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer. Went to college, lived in China for 5 years, came back and saw that my community was still in need. We needed to close that digital divide. So 7 years ago almost, I started my 2-bedroom apartment and said, each year we're going to donate 100 computers. But to make that sustainable, we're going to start a little IT company. So we purchase, repair, resell computer phones or tablets with the mission to close 3 divides. Digital, income, and wealth divide. With the digital divide, we donate 100 computers and train people. With the income divide, we train people how to get livable wages within the tech space, but our end goal isn't for you to become a technician or a manager. We want you to become, close the wealth divide, own your own store, your own ambulance, open up your own recycling operation, and do it again. That's NERDiT Now.
Wow. I had a chance to visit your website and research and see all the resources and the education and the tools that you offer. And I will be calling you. I will be calling you because I think it's important that you are not only offering this help, but you're going to these businesses. You're not just residential, but also commercial, if I'm correct.
Correct.
So you're providing all this help to so many different people, as well as making a difference in the community, which I love about your company. So tell our viewers a little bit more about how they could, more about like the mission of why you're doing what you're doing.
So again, the underlying goal is to make sure that we close the wealth divide by closing the digital divide. We go ahead and through the ambulance where we go to residential places. People said in the beginning it was stupid. This will never work. But it was that same idea that got us to Shark Tank in the very beginning. That same idea that's blessed this business time after time after again. And we want to make sure that we're just making sure that no technology is going into the landfill. We recently became the first certified recycler in the state of Delaware for IT equipment. We take all this equipment, we repair it, we sell some of it, we donate a whole lot back into the community. 2015 and 2019, we donated 538 computers.
Wow.
2020, 5,000.
Wow.
2021, we're up to 6,000. We still going.
Now you're donating these computers, right, to schools?
We're donating it to schools. We're donating, which are at the end going into the hands of the students. We're donating to a lot of workforce development programs, a lot of nonprofits all throughout the state, making sure, like we heard some of these schools say, hey, we're sending a computer home to the student, but there's 5 students in a house. That one computer can't help them when they're trying to do their Zoom class. So we make sure every student gets their own Chromebook.
Wow, do you really?
Yes, I'm sure through this pandemic, your company has become more of, there's been more of a demand.
Yes.
Because of Zoom. You mentioned that right now.
Correct.
Because of Zooming.
I think when the pandemic began, we were already donating computers. We realized how big the digital divide was.
Yes.
And they said, who's been doing this? NERDiT Now's been doing this. So we got the support to be able to go ahead and do it 10 times forward, to think in 5 years, 500 computers, 1 year, 10 nets. It was mind-boggling for us to see how much our company grew. And people looking like, okay, Markevis, you're growing, so what you driving now? Where you living now? Nope, Same guy.
Yeah, same guy. This is not about flash. This is the
Not
same
at all.
guy, same heart, and everything. Some of the people that support NERDiT Now, some of the companies and organizations, they think this is a phenomenal. What you're doing is phenomenal. And I remember when we talked back in 19, like I want to say Discover was like, they're backing you 100%, whatever you need, Markevis.
Yes.
Because when you, especially when this gap came, right, and this thing came in, when the pandemic came, kids in the inner city schools and the urban schools, and black and brown kids, and then it's not even just about black and brown kids, it's about kids all over, right? They were not getting with the tools that they need, and Markevis was him and his company were the ones that stood into that gap and to make sure that kids at Kumba, kids at what other schools?
Man, we did Kuma. We've been over at Warner. We've been at Howard.
Riverside,
everywhere, man.
That
It's
ambulance
just
is everywhere,
everywhere.
giving away computers. So what has been some, and I'm all about impact and success stories. Can you give me a success story of like, look.
He has so many.
Yeah.
I mean, back in 2017, when we were in a small storefront, a customer come in, I need to buy a new computer, or can we fix this one here? I'm looking at their computer and realizing it's going to cost me 10 times more than just giving them a computer. So let me see your computer. See this one? It's 10 years newer. You can have it.
Wow.
They come back 5 years later. Look, that computer helped get my kid through college.
Yes.
This right here is changing the trajectory of our life.
Right.
And this is time after time watching kids come through our workforce development program. They were going in the wrong trajectory. You know how it is. A lot of our friends, our family, they went the wrong way. I said, here's a computer. Now here's a class. Let's go this way. You show them what you can become, because a lot of times they can't see that. And it's just been time after time after time of watching people just change their whole trajectory and moving in a positive way.
Wow.
Let's talk about, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, please.
Look.
I'm really eager to find out more about the company, so I can't wait to connect after the show.
Yeah, right,
'Cause I need computer help myself. But it just what you're doing for the community and providing these devices that are so critical for learning now. Not everyone is tech savvy, and not everyone has the ability to have the most updated technology. And the fact that you're getting these updated devices in the hands of these kids so they can learn the way that they need to, so they can build their confidence, is just so important. So I do have one question, I'm sorry.
Go next.
So tell us about the apprenticeship program that you do at NERDiT Now.
Cool, so we have a 3-month pre-apprenticeship program where people get 4 certifications leading up to the A+ certification. That was the one anchor certification for me to be where I'm at today. You go through this program, you're promised a livable wage immediately after, or you can go through our apprenticeship program where you get 4 additional certifications, get a year worth of tech support experience, and then go off and kill it. We had one person we partnered with over Tariq and Stephanie over at Code Differently. One student went through our pre-apprenticeship, followed up with their pre-apprenticeship, and went on and made $83,000 a year afterwards. I'm like, oh, winning. We're winning.
Yeah.
Yes, that's winning.
Let's talk about freaking Shark Tank. What was that experience like?
Spoiler alert, we did not get the deal. But
you made it
oh
to
my
Shark
goodness,
Tank.
we made it to Shark Tank.
Tank.
I remember when we went to Shark Tank, we pitched the concept, we got this kiosk out there, and we were like, okay, we're gonna make it. We didn't make it. I was bummed at first. A couple weeks later, we went to Japan. Me, my wife, and my kid was like, we're in Japan. This little Asian lady comes up to me and she says, "You, Shark Tank." At that moment, I knew we got it. I'm glad we didn't get the deal. I asked for $150,000 for 10% of my business. Following year, COVID came. We started getting some support. We got the $150,000 without giving out any equity in our business and able to help the community in a big way. Shark Tank was such a blessing, but it was even more of a blessing to not get the deal. Love it.
Everything comes full circle.
Yes, it
And
does.
everything happens for a reason.
When you have a good heart, it shows up on your doorstep.
Yes.
And he has a good heart.
Yes.
I can tell. I know that Ivan spoke so highly about you before you even stepped onto the show, but I could just tell your energy, your passion for NERDiT Now, what you're doing in the community. I can sense it. It's there, and you do have a good
I
heart.
tell people again, like, it's not just about NERDiT Now. It's about kids that grew up in an underserved community. I don't care what color, race, or national origin you are. But if you believe that it's yours, so claim it. Me, a Christian, could sit next to a Muslim, could sit next to a Buddhist, who believe in a law of attraction, believe it. if you throw it into the universe, it'll come back to you, but nobody ever promised that it would be easy. And that's been my story here at NERDiT Now. I said it's mine.
Yeah.
Right.
This is mine. I'm claiming it.
What did you learn from China? Your first trip to China?
My first trip to China, well, actually, I went 1 month in college. I was like, one day I'm gonna come back. Didn't think it was gonna really happen, but when I actually went there for the second time, my intent was to stay there for 4 months. 5 years later, I worked for an import-export company while teaching at a university, and then I started my own bar. Now, though working in a bar, owning a bar wasn't something that I was passionate about.
Wait a minute, you owned a bar in China?
Bruh, bruh, I had 12 waitresses, 3 bartenders, and a bar manager. I was loving life in China, traveling all over.
How's your Chinese?
你要我说中文我就说中文，我中文说太好了。Yeah, bruh. I
What
loved
did you
it.
say?
Whatever you want me to say in Chinese, I'll say it because I speak it pretty well.
Impressive. Impressive.
My time in China, it taught me, one, how to be more open to diversity. I grew up in a black community. I was around black people and only black people. Now I felt more open around different people of different cultures, but moreover, it taught me how to run a business. Opening up my business was able to translate directly into NERDiT Now. No longer being a hustle, but starting a brand. And that changed my life.
Right.
What makes you, and that's a great segue to the next question, all these other IT companies out here, what sets NERDiT Now apart?
We're here for the community. We're doing it for the community. I'm not trying to make the money. I'm giving it back to the community. When we set forth by donating 100 computers in the very beginning, all of the people in the world were telling us it was stupid. It's not sustainable. But this is our mission. Our customers are family. We're going to give back to the community, which has given so much to us. And for that, it's a blessing.
Right, right. So how can our audience support NERDiT Now? Let us know. Where can we go? Where can we follow?
Oh, please follow us on social media, NERDiT Now. You can look at our website, nerditnow.com. NERDiT Cares is our foundation, which donates the technology, and we also offer all of our pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs. Google Markevis Gideon. You'll see everything. I'm in like 20 million different things right now. Just look me up.
Everything. On everything.
Yes, please reach out to me if I can support you in any way. Our community is really, our company is really committed to giving back to the community. So if any way that NERDiT can support DETV, if NERDiT can support the Wilmington, greater Wilmington area, you know we're here.
Same here. You need us, we're here for you, bro. You know how
yes,
we get
sir.
down.
All love, bro. I looked around my surrounding communities and still saw that there's this huge digital divide, and that's where NERDiT Now came from. Here at NERDiT Now, we consist of 4 different pillars. One, we have the NERDiT Kiosk, which you might see on Shark Tank being pitched. We have NERDiT Recycling, which is helping fuel the technology given back into the communities. We have NERDiT Cares, formerly known as NERDiT Foundation. And then last but not least, we have the store, NERDiT Now, making sure that we're able to repair consumer devices.
The ride has been a bit overwhelming at times, but when I see the growth, it just gets me excited. It started in like Markevis's mother's basement. So it's just like to see the growth from him actually living in the community, doing work, and then a storefront, and now an even larger space with different facets of the business now. It's just exciting.
Computers are hard to come by. It's not only hard to come by, but the moment something breaks, people think, I'm gonna get rid of it.
Nerd Recycle, we take the equipment from either vendors or donations that we receive that is no longer in use. We take parts from those devices to fix other devices that we can then give back to the community through the NERDiT Foundation.
We were giving out 100 computers every year. And post-COVID and throughout COVID, we've reached over 2,000 computers. Within the past 2 years, I would say, we've grown like tremendously.
We see other big organizations that we would have never thought really care about our small little NERDiT Now and say, no, we're going to be intentional in helping you close that digital divide.
We train students to come through the pre-apprenticeship, and through this pre-apprenticeship, you're getting your certifications to get the knowledge of what it's like to become a technician and work in that field of IT. Then we go on to the hands-on part. You will learn to fix an iPad, you will learn to fix a cell phone, RAM, the hard drive.
What I've basically been doing is breaking down the general basics of computing and networking. The foundation side just wants as many people to have access to technology and to know that technology that they're accessing.
Our end goal is for you to not become a just technician, not just a manager, but a franchise owner of your own. We'll give you a franchise. You go into a new community, and then you continue this circle of life all over again.
When people recycle with us, they're also helping train people, and they're also helping fund that laptop or computer to go back out into the community.
Now, with computers being so essential with this new norm that we live in, everyone has a right to have access to a computer. So the bigger picture is just being able to provide devices to homes, communities of need.
We take the students, and you come into the store environment. Now you're seeing what it's like to work a retail store, potentially manage a retail store, or take the mobile ambulance and take that out into a community. So instead of people having to travel to us, that now you're very accessible to them.
It's great to see that the community here internally is coming together to really make this mission come to pass.
I think it's truly just about giving back in the best ways that we can. My version of giving back isn't necessarily giving away 500 laptops, but if I can teach someone how to work on a laptop, it's all about helping someone else be better than they were yesterday.
It's kind of like, this excites people here. This is something that everyone here is very interested in, but on top of that, we also want it to be accessible to our community.
You can make all the money in the world, but I'm much happier today, and I'm making a much larger impact than I could have ever done. So for that, I'm thankful.